In the increasingly vast world of gourmet foods, consumers now more than ever have a huge array of choice in what foods to buy and how those foods are produced. When it comes to cheese, various methods in the cheese-making process is now something that can be discerned. Cheese making is both a science and an art, but from the former point of view, the rennet used is both critical and controversial. Kathy Kennedy, cheese expert at Holiday Market in Royal Oak, explains. What you know?
Well, what is rennet?
Yes.
Rennet is used in the cheese making process to separate the curds from the whey. And they're the basic three kinds: the animal, vegetable, and microbial, like Carolyn was telling you. Originally, it was thought that cheese came about because they made sacks out of the lining of the animals' stomachs, and they would transport their milk in these sacks, and riding on horses, camels, or whatever, the milk would get shaken in the sacks, and that's how it was discovered that this reaction came about. And they discovered that they got something pretty delicious out of it, which was rudimentary cheese.
As vegetarian and vegan food options increase, alternatives to animal-based rennets is becoming ever more popular. According to cheese experts, there are no real discernible taste or cost differences, only philosophical ones. Carolyn Cowley, a cheese sales associate at Holiday Market, explains.
Mostly it's because of what it is.
Okay.
It's the animal rennet.
From the stomach?
Yes, from the stomach of the lining of the stomach of the young animal. That's why a lot of people that's just turned off by that. They will go for a microbial, which is laboratory made, or a vegetable, which is made from a plant. And flavor-wise, there's not a big difference. I couldn't tell, and I work with cheese daily, so most people can. It's just when they ask for that, there's a reason behind it. And it's usually because it's either vegetarian or they're a vegan, or most of us don't look at that. I don't look at that. You probably don't look at that.
At any given time, Holiday's gourmet cheese department carries between 350 to 400 varieties of cheese from over 20 different countries. However, only about 10% of these are cheeses made with alternate rennet sources, something that cheese aficionado and vegetarian Adriel Thornton wishes would be augmented.
Yeah, it's just, with all these options here, it would be nice if there were, a few more with alternative rennet sources. I've gone through, most of the ones from Holiday, and I just wish there were a few more. I mean, it's not that I'm disappointed, but when you're trying to bypass all animal products, it becomes really important.
There is still a ways to go for people interested in alternatives to animal enzymes in their cheeses. Cheesemakers rarely labeled these rennet sources, leaving it up to the cheese vendor to figure it out. Still, these alternatives are on the rise as more consumers become increasingly discriminating in their food choices. In Royal Oak, I'm Chris Violante.